Hi, my name is Awal Fusini. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to this Halal Food podcast on the UK Islamic economy. So, in this podcast, I'll try and go through the value of the UK Islamic economy, where the opportunities are that people can invest in when it comes to the Islamic economy in the UK. So let's jump straight into it. My name is Awal Fuseni. As I said, I'm the Halal Sector Manager at the Agriculture and Horticulture Development Board in the UK. I am also a research fellow at the University of Huddersfield Business School in the UK. And my background is in animal science and meat science. I've got a PhD in meat science from Bristol University. I have published widely on the subject matter of halal, whether it's to do with halal meat production or the certification of halal products, and also things to do with the market or the growth of the halal market. Previously, I worked for one of the UK's largest halal certification bodies before joining AHDB. So that's me there. Let me just go through what I intend to cover in this podcast. I'll look at the population dynamics, the UK population against the Muslim population in the UK. I'll also look at the spending power of Muslims in the UK. I'll look at key sectors that Muslims spend their money in, and also opportunities and challenges for the growth and development of the Islamic economy in the UK. So let's take a glance at the UK economy. Let's have a quick look at the UK economy. So the total GDP in the UK is estimated to be around 1.95 trillion pounds. The GDP per capita is 29,642 and 1 pence. The GDP is 1.94%. In terms of imports and exports, imports just exceeds exports by around 50 billion pounds. So the value of imports stands at around 590 billion, and exports is 549 billion pounds. So if you look at the UK against the other countries within the EU, well, I know the UK is no longer in the EU, but if you compare the UK to countries within the EU or countries in Europe, the UK is regarded as a major Islamic economy. I know it's not a Muslim majority country. The Muslim population in the UK contributes significantly to the UK economy. So now let's move on to population dynamics, population of the UK against the population of Muslims. The UK population is estimated at around 66.18 million people, and out of that 51% are female and 49% are male. Now if you move on to the Muslim population is around 3 million people. The female population represents around 49% of the 3 million, and males are around 52%. So there are more males Muslim than female Muslims within the UK. Now, this is an exciting figure that I've extracted from the UK Islamic Economy report that was published by Thomson Reuters and Salam Gateway in 2018. It shows some interesting statistics around the population of Muslims in the UK. It shows that Muslims are relatively younger when you compare them to the general population. So, for instance, take people who are over 65 years, for instance. Muslims represent only 4% of those who are over 65 years, and non-Muslim, or the general population, accounts for 16%. So 4% against 16%. One of the most interesting bits is the workforce. 25 to 64 years, Muslims represent 48%. That is a very huge number. One important thing, or one significant aspect of this number is, or this proportion, or this age range, is the fact that this is the majority of where the workforce is. So people who are in this age range are likely to be in work, are likely to be making some money, and are likely to be contributing to the household income. So it's important when it comes to consumption, whether consumption of meat, consumption of non-meat products, or just the purchase or expenditure on even non-food products. So Islamic finance products. So for instance, mortgages and other aspects. There is also the issue of student loans and things like that. So this is an important age range that is showing that Muslims, the proportion of Muslims that are age 25 to 64 years, are around 48%. Now take the 16 to 24-year-olds and Muslims. The proportion of Muslims who are between 16 and 24 years are actually more, is 15% against 12% of the general population. So there are more Muslims. The proportion of Muslims who are 16 to 24 years are greater than the proportion of the general population that are aged between 16 and 24%. But this is not with regards to number. I'm just comparing Muslim population, proportion of Muslim population who are in that age against the general population who are in that age. So all these figures are just showing that the Muslim population is relatively younger, and they are in the workforce. The majority of them are in the workforce, so they will tend to have the propensity to spend. So now let's move on to where Muslims actually spend their money. So in terms of where they spend their money, Muslims in 2017 spent around 19 billion pounds in the UK. And out of this, I'm just taking the top three. Media and recreation accounted for 6.92 billion pounds. And also halal food and beverages. This is very important. This is the sector I work in. Halal food and beverages accounted for 4.64 billion, that is a billion pounds. So these are very exciting figures, and it shows where investment businesses may invest their money in, because that is where the population, the Muslim population, is spending their money. So now let's move on. So I'm gonna take lamb, the consumption of lamb, as a case study, and the opportunities for those who are interested in the lamb sector. So let's take the slaughter of small ruminants, for instance. The slaughter of sheep, lamb, and goats accounted for 70% of the total animals that are slaughtered in Great Britain. Now look at the total number of animals slaughtered. It's between 12 and 15 million that is slaughtered a year. And if halal slaughter accounts for around 70%, that means it's significant. And these are actually official figures from the FSA. So the Food Standards Agency conducts animal welfare surveys from time to time. And the last one was in 2018, and this figure is from the 2018 data. In terms of consumption itself, the Muslim population consumes around 20%, is now over 20% of the sheep meat that is produced in the UK. This is also a significant figure if you compare the fact that the non-Muslim, a recent survey that was conducted on the consumption of lamb indicated that the general population, only 6% of the general UK population consume meat at least once a week. Now compare that to the Muslim population. The Muslim population, over about 60%, indicated that they consume lamb at least once a week. So 6% in the general population against 60% in the Muslim population. So the Muslim population do absorb or account for the majority of lamb that is consumed in the UK. And for abattoirs and people, businesses looking to invest in the halal sector, it is important for them to acknowledge for them to realize some of the festivals that impact on the consumption of meat. So there is Udhiya or Kurbani. Kurbani, as many of you will know, is a festival around which time it's like a Thanksgiving festival around which time every capable Muslim is supposed to slaughter an animal where the meat is either consumed by the performer of the Qurbani or Udhiya, or it is divided, it's usually divided into three, where one third is kept in the family or by the performer of the Qurbani. Another one third goes to the needy or destitute in society, and the third one can go to family and friends. But it's not compulsory to do this, but it is advisable to do that, or is something that is promoted. So in terms, apart from the Qurbani, there is Ramadan. As you know, that is the time Muslims fast. They abstain from the consumption of food from dawn to dusk. So that is, although there's abstinence from food consumption during daylight hours. At night, a reasonable amount of food is consumed, or even during at dawn when Muslims get up to consume food. Meat forms an important part of the diet. So that is very important. And also, another thing is, during these festivals, the communal meals are usually very common. And as you know, when there is communal meals, and the fact that Muslims over-index in the consumption of lamb consumption goes up during that time. So let's move on. So the halal consumer, let's have a look at some characteristics or some behavioral factors, features of the halal consumer. So we know that the main animals or sources of animal protein or species of animals that are consumed by the Muslims or by the Muslim consumer are those from poultry, sheep meat, or sheep and beef, or cow or cattle. So consumer confidence, we know, is in products that are halal certified. And this was actually in a study that was conducted in Belgium, that products that are halal certified are more likely to attract the patronage of halal consumers. And we also know that another study published in Austria found that halal consumers are willing to pay a premium for halal certified products. One thing about this is, in the UK in particular, there are so many consumers who wouldn't consume halal meat unless there is some demonstration from the producer that the process was supervised, or the process was certified. So that is very important when it comes to selling halal products. So for those of you looking to invest in halal food, halal certification is an important aspect of it. And those who are already in food production but wanting to, or needing, trying to switch from non-halal to halal food, halal certification is like a passport that will aid you to access the halal market. In the UK, we've got around 18 certification bodies, but there are some which are well established. I think the Halal Food Authority is the oldest in the UK, formed some 20 something years ago, around 1994, I believe. So they have been in existence for a long time. There is also the HMC, the Halal Monitoring Committee, that has also been around for a long time. There are other smaller certifiers, but there are also multinational certifiers that have got offices in the UK, like RACS, the headquartered thing in the UAE. They've got offices in Germany and also offices in the UK. There is also the World Halal Authority that is headquartered in Italy and have got an office in the UK. There are other certifiers, up and coming certifiers like Halal Consultations Limited, Halal Certification Organization, Halal Certification. Well, Halal Certification Europe has also been around for a long time, but yeah, they've also been around for a long time. There are others which are in the system, but for those who are you looking to export, it's not all the certifiers that are approved for export. So you always need to choose wisely when you are choosing a halal certification body. So we know the younger consumer is looking for quality. The younger consumer is looking for convenience, and they are more adventurous. They want better welfare, better environment for animals. So products, if you are a seller or a retailer, and you can demonstrate that your products have got meet all these requirements, you are likely to attract more consumers to your premises. Now let's look at the challenges of the challenges that are facing the halal sector in the UK, or the Islamic. Well, we'll narrow it down to the halal sector. So halal compliance or regulation of halal food is a major problem. I've just noted the different certifiers that we have. There are differences of opinion in terms of certain practices, particularly stunning, mechanical slaughter, and also slaughter by people of the book. If you are looking for things outside halal, outside meat, in terms of drinks, pharmaceutical, yeah, there are several halal certification bodies, but I've already mentioned which ones they are. So another hindrance is the growth in fraud, or the prevalence of food fraud in the halal sector. This is a nuisance that many stakeholders are hoping we will get rid of at some point. There have been prosecutions in recent years of people found to be in breach of the rules. People selling non-halal products as halal, people selling different species of animals and pretending they are others. So these are all challenges. There is also lack of cooperation between certifiers. Some certifiers will not accept certificates from other certifiers. So what happens is, if a manufacturer A has got, so for instance, a manufacturer, I'm just giving an example, say an abattoir A is slaughtering animals, and abattoir B wants to buy, abattoir B is a meat processor or a food processor, want to buy raw materials from abattoir A, and abattoir B is certified by a different certifier. It can create confusion, because if the certifier at abattoir A is not recognized by the certifier doing abattoir B or supervising abattoir B, that can be very problematic. That can cause a lot of trade disruptions between the supply chain. So it is something that halal certifiers need to work on. So what is the UK doing to develop this further? There are challenges, as I said. So what is the UK doing in terms of trying. We have discussed the fact that Muslim consumers are more likely to buy your products if they are halal certified. I've talked about fraud, and there are also complications around method of slaughter. Some method of slaughter will not be accepted, others will be accepted. But this is not a platform to discuss method of slaughter. So in terms of the challenges, in the UK we have a very strong halal stakeholders forum, and it is at the premises or at the auspices of the Agriculture and Horticulture Development Board, where we bring together farmers, abattoir operators, halal certifiers, Islamic scholars to discuss challenges that are facing the halal sector. So these challenges are discussed in greater detail, and then solutions are found for them. So this is a really, really good platform for us to exchange ideas. We also, apart from the halal certification that we have, as I said, we've got so many halal certification bodies. Some of them are widely recognized. For instance, the Halal Food Authority, they are, as far as I know, they are recognized globally. They are, so products that are certified by them can be exported globally. The Halal Monitoring Committee too is very well known by the domestic consumer and by the export market as well. So for those of you looking to export your products, you have choices of where to go to get your products certified. So I said there is multiple layer of assurance. So apart from the halal certification, as I said, I don't want to go into method of slaughter, but there is an assurance system in the UK called the demonstration of life for those abattoirs that stun their animals before slaughter. But having said that, slaughter without stunning is also accepted for consumption by Muslims in the UK. Improvement in certification protocols. Over the years, there have been some drastic changes in the way we certify in the UK. There have been proper training of certifiers, of auditors. There have been proper improvement in standardization. There have been improvement in the way certifiers audit. I can testify to the fact that so for instance the HFA, I'm well informed about their processes, and I know they've got well qualified auditors that are trained to ISO and BRC BRC standard. So I know some of their auditors have got BRC certificates, ISO, and also their processes are in line with global standards. I'm also aware that the HMC have got some auditors who are well trained. They've also got supervisors in they've got supervisors in their in the premises where they certify and they supervise. As far as I am aware, every week they are there to supervise their premises. So in the UK, we've got very robust halal certification bodies. So for those of you looking to invest, this is a great market for you to invest in, because as I said, I've already indicated the amount of money that Muslims spend on food and beverages, and the fact that the population is relatively younger with higher disposable income. There is a higher propensity to spend. So, in terms of opportunity for investors, there are opportunities in Islamic finance, halal food, modest fashion, healthcare or pharma, housing, media, and recreation. Housing is a big one. Housing is a big one because of mortgages. Some are looking for Islamic compliant mortgages. Some are looking for Islamic bank accounts, things like that, just to make sure everything is intact. So there's also media and recreation, as I've already mentioned. So the UK meat industry, the sheep sector the UK is the third largest exporter of sheep meat. So that shows you how big the amount of meat that is produced in the UK is, as I mentioned already, the Muslim community consumes a lot of this meat, and if you compare that to the general population, the consumption of lamb is actually going down in the general population. So there are markets outside the world, outside the UK, where these products are shipped to on a yearly basis. So for those of you who are interested in actually importing from the UK, this is the place you can. If you contact me, I work very closely with some exporters. So if you are looking for halal meat and you contact me, inshallah, I'll be able to link you with the right exporters so that you can have your transactions with them directly. I don't get involved with transactions. I can do the introduction. As I said, I work with them, but I do not get involved in the transaction. So, but I'll make sure you got the right, but you are at the right place and you've got the right supplies. Our exporters are keen to explore the Asian and the Middle East market. These are key markets that we are looking at, and our production processes are consistent with the standards. As I said, we have the certifiers to do the supervision and also make sure that all the processes are consistent with the Islamic principles. We've got reputable halal certifiers, I've mentioned that already, that are recognized by the authorities in Malaysia, in Indonesia, in the UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Oman, all the Muslim majority countries. So wherever you want your products to go to, we will be able to facilitate it. So whether you are an importer in a Muslim majority country looking to import meat from the UK, if you give me a shout, I'll be able to put you in touch with the right supplier. So the opportunities are enormous in the UK. There are several sectors. The Islamic economy in the UK is growing. There are several areas or sectors you can invest in, from Islamic finance, halal food, modest fashion. There are so many ways you can actually tap into this ever-growing UK Islamic economy. So thank you very much for listening. We intend to do more of these podcasts. Some of the interactions will be with key stakeholders in the global halal market to address some issues of halal relevance. So keep an eye on this YouTube channel and subscribe, like our videos, and so that you can be notified when we upload new videos. So thank you very much. That is my emails there. If you want to find out anything about what I've said, or if you want to find out about the UK Islamic economy, give me a shout and I will be happy to assist you.